Darktable 5.6 is out now, and we are continuing our look through the new features. Let's go. Hi, and welcome to episode 171 of Understanding Darktable. This was meant to be 5 videos for the new features, but the last one ran a bit longer than I expected, so I've kept the second half of that for this video. So there will still be one more after this. But now let's move on to some more of the UI and UX improvements. Enabled shortcuts for some existing buttons in the duplicate manager, snapshots, and the AGX modules. Next, enabled shortcuts to cycle through module groups, modules, and module instances. Added a configuration option to toggle the film strip auto center behavior. So if I jump into a longer film strip where I've got lots of images, click on the keyboard shortcut, click on the image, and we will see center on selected image, so we can change that behavior if we want to. The radius calculated for capture sharpening is now using only the central 60% of the image, as lenses are mostly sharper here. For X-trans sensors, that's Fuji cameras, the radius has been slightly increased as images tend to be more blurred. So when it says increased, it actually means a smaller section of the center of the image, not a larger section of the center of the image. And the last one for this video, the tone equalizer now visualizes an invalid curve, also for old edits. I'm sorry, but I don't quite know what they mean by that. Moving on to other changes, several improvements to AGX. Default hue preservation is now 60% in most presets, reducing strong hue shifts in bright highlights. Default contrast has been increased and toe and shoulder power tuned to more closely match sigmoid's defaults. Added sigmoid-like presets that closely match sigmoid's tone curve. Removed the punchy presets except for the blender-like variant whose parameters still follow Blender's settings. Improved the toe and shoulder warning tooltips for clarity. The scene referred preset is no longer applied exclusively to HDR images. So as we can see there, that is now the default for AGX for any image. Primaries selection is now visible even when disable adjustments is checked. Now this one I'm struggling with, because when I go to the primaries tab, if I disable adjustments, the primaries disappear, but that entry in the UI UX improvement section of the release notes would tend to suggest that they were going to remain visible even when disable adjustments was checked. So I'm not sure what I'm misunderstanding some part of that, obviously. So Flannelhead, if you want to reach out and let me know, go for it. Next, for non-raw images with gamma corrected data, we do the initial scaling in linear mode for less artifacts. I will confess, I'm not sure what scaling they're referring to here. Is that color information scaling? Is it luminosity scaling? Is it pixel dimension scaling? With gamma corrected data would tend to suggest that that refers to luminosity. Added a new option to filter images by capture month in the collections module and in collection filters. Now what this allows you to do is to select images according to the month in which they were shot of the year. So if we come to the times section of our filter here, we can see capture month, and that will highlight all 12 months of the year. So if I select, for example, May, it will show me every image that I've ever shot in the month of May, regardless of the year. Now, I'm not 100% sure why you would want this, maybe if it was somebody's significant birthday and you wanted to find all of their birthday photos from multiple years, maybe. And finally, EXIF tags which are added to the metadata editor are now read from the image file on import. For already imported images, this can be performed by an EXIF refresh. So for this, I've just jumped into my test shots database. I've got a bunch of images here which were when I was trying to sell off some old lenses from my A mount kit. So in description, I'm going to put gear for sale, okay, and apply. So now these images don't have anything and all of these other images have that description. But here's the thing. If I select all of the images, it says leave unchanged because there are images which have a value and images which don't have that value. And I go to actions on selection and I go to metadata and I go refresh EXIF and then go back to the metadata editor. Guess what? Now none of those images have that value in the description field anymore. So I'm not quite sure how that EXIF metadata is supposedly written into the original raw file in a permanent way, because I was under the impression that you can't modify the original EXIF metadata without some pretty serious tools that get under the hood. Now, I don't know. That's kind of a little outside my area of expertise. It's not something I've ever had a need to do. So your mileage may vary on that one. But anyway, there we are, people. 4 out of 5 videos done for the new features in Darktable 5.6. So much stuff to cover. Crazy. One more video to go, and then we can get back to regular programming. Questions, comments, sing out down below. I'll catch you in the next one.